Hi everyone, welcome to Sanctuary of the Scion, one of the longest and hardest levels. At the beginning, we're going to want to go to the left. Just do a running jump and 2 steps, running jump to the left here, so we can land perfectly on a Magnum Clips. We can turn and pick them up. Now at this point, we need to check our ammo and also switch to the Magnums. So right now I actually started with 0 and I picked up a clip, so now I have 50. But if you did things correctly, you should actually have around 30 here. So that would put you at around 80 bullets, and that's good. You can continue up the stairs. So from this position, if you have good ammo, you can just do running jumps, continue up. But if you had less, like me, I had 0, so that was like the least I could have. I would recommend coming to this right area and picking up this pickup as well, because we're going to want to avoid switching to the Magnums very often, and that could happen if you run out of ammo and pick it up and then use it and then run out of ammo and so on. So I'll just recommend picking this up and then continuing. So from this point on, you should have really good ammo. And yeah, I'll go into the ammo a little bit more later. So from here, we want to come to the left here and stop around this part where the stairs is kind of flat. Actually, I went a little bit far, but from this position, we stop and just slowly walk backwards while shooting the 2 Atlanteans that come to us. Okay, and if they start to run away, you can chase them a bit. But as you can see, if you do that, most of the time it's pretty good. They get stuck, they're kind of confused, and you can kill them pretty quickly without taking any damage, or you'll take very little damage. Sometimes if you mess it up like I did, they might rush you, or if you get bad RNG, that could happen as well. There's not much you can do, just try your best to kill them as fast as possible and taking as little damage as possible. Life can be important, but there are a bunch of meds you can take as well, so you shouldn't be too worried, but of course minimizing any damage is nice. So just continue up these steps, and so now there's basically 2 routes you can take for this level in terms of ammo. There will be 2 flying Atlanteans out in the open once we climb like the pillar in front of me, and basically you can either choose to take ammo and kill them, or you ignore them. Of course, ignoring them is faster, but it's a lot harder. RNG can be a lot worse for you, and your movement needs to be clean, otherwise they'll like really wreck you. So when you're first starting out, I would recommend the safer, easier route, which is just taking the ammo. So regardless of if you picked up 1 or 2 there, you should take this one if you're planning to kill them. Take this Magnum Clips, and then you can just jump over here to this this position over here, this corner, and then just turn and just do 2 standing jumps kind of in a diagonal, so you don't stumble like that. So oops, okay, so jump over here, you turn, and you just jump twice like this to be on a bit of a slant. Now if you don't want to pick up those Magnum Clips, you can do it a little bit faster. So as you climb up these stairs, you ignore those Magnum Clips, you just come over here and jump like this, and then you can actually do 2 backflips. You don't have again, you need to do it on a slant, but I messed it up there. But if you do it on a slant, this, then you should make it. In any case, figure out what ammo you're going for, and then come up here, and then you can sneak in 1 running jump if we want to, but we want to come over here on this edge. Now this edge is a little bit tricky because the camera can be rough like when you're just turning in here. So you could, once you're kind of close to it, you feel that you're close to it, you can just hold walk to make sure you don't fall off. If you're on the left and just moving forward, you shouldn't fall off, at least right away, because Laura will bonk a little bit first, as you can let me show like this. She'll be stunned a little bit, if you can see it like this. You get stunned for, but it's still really hard to react in time, so I'd recommend just, once you're kind of close, just walk to it. Also, if you're too much on the right, it's of course not what we want, because you will just fall down. That's not what we want. What we want to do is get a jump around this left position, just forward, so you don't stumble, and you can quickly just turn and shoot this guy. Now it's important you do this jump on the left, so as you can see, if I'm doing it on the left, and look at my life, I'm not losing that much HP. But if I do it on the right, I lose a bunch more. And you see, I'm like almost dead. Now, if you're really cautious of life, you don't have to do this jump at all. You can just drop, like, okay, not like that. You can just drop like this, but you do get a stumble, and you might get a few. You might get hit by a few shots from this guy. It's really up to you though. I do recommend the left side standing jump. It's pretty consistent and you don't lose that much life, and it's pretty fast. But anyway, we want to kill this guy that I just killed, and then just do one running jump, and you should land on this slope. And don't do any more jumps, you'll just continue on. Once you land on the ground around here, just come to this corner. You want to do a slope bug up to get one of the levers. Over here. And if for some reason you're like really low on ammo, you can pick up this one. But again, there's like a bunch of Magnum Clips around the level. So if you, like, let's say you choose to skip this one, but later on you realize you actually want some Magnum Clips, there's a few more backup ones you can grab. But it is up to you. This one's not too bad, because what you can actually do is, instead of slope bugging on this right wall, you could just slope bug on the left wall like this, and you can grab it here and continue. So it's kind of like on the way, but again, it's your choice. Anyway, we want to come here and slope bug on this right wall. If possible, do it on the very on like the corner, because if you do it here, we can do a very slightly faster sequence by not canceling the slope bug, but just turning and then roll canceling from the stumble. But if you do it here, oops, you probably just want to do a quick roll and then continue to the lever. You can't do the cancel because you're not high enough on the slope, but it's very minimal, not a big deal. And you want to come here to pull the lever, and this will activate, well, it will open the door of course, but it will also activate the flying mutant that will come. And once you do the other lever, another flying mutant will come as well. So there's a total of 2 that can chase you, and these are the 2 enemies I was talking about, because throughout the level we're just moving around this Sphinx, and if your movement is not clean enough and or you get bad RNG, they can really ruin your day. So if you're picking up, if you're going for the easy route, you're just learning, I recommend picking up extra Magnum Clips, and when you see them, just kill them. Not now. So like normally what happens, when you pull the lever, like he's far away, so what we want to do is just guns, roll, and then, well, we have a few options to get down actually. So the risky way is turning. Okay, actually, let me kill this guy first. So normally you don't kill him here, but that's fine. I'm gonna just pretend kill him later. And oh yeah, also I should talk about meds. So you should have at least 1 small in this position. Anytime you use meds in this level, you want to use your smalls first, just because when you menu, it's the fastest. So like, you're gonna eventually use your small anyway, so you menu, go to your small, use it. Then if let's say you don't have a small, then it would just be a large. So then again, it's one quick menu. And you're generally speaking, you use quite a few meds in this level. So like, don't worry about, you know, trying to optimize it too much or anything. Just use the small and then start using larges after. Okay, so to get down, there's a couple of ways. After you pull the lever, you could... Okay, so let me just do this properly. Okay, so let's say we pull the lever. We could roll and then do this jump, come over here. But it's really tight. It's really tight if you want to go for the optimal one and land on this corner. Because what happens when you land on this corner and get the stumble is you can turn, come here, and then land on this corner, or like this edge, and then drop down more, and then roll, and then do this. But of course, if you miss any of those drops because your angle is wrong, then you're gonna just die. For example, like this. So there's some other safe ways you could do. Here's a somewhat slower one, but this is like guaranteed. You side flip right, do a roll, and then just do a running jump. And you can grab, and you'll land here, and then you can do another roll. You come down here. Okay. Well, normally you're facing right, so it's like try like this, and then you roll again, and you can come down. Another one, let me just pull this, is do this first jump, right? But you like make sure you're definitely on it, like you don't land in corner, and you just do a roll. So then you land, okay, not like that. So I don't really do other strategies here, but I'm trying to show the ones I do know of. Like let's say you land here. Okay, maybe you land a bit further like this, and then you can roll. Okay, not like that, but if you land here, then... Okay, let me try one more time. Okay, so like this, I died. But it really isn't, isn't that bad, but... So I'm just messing this up a lot right now. Okay, well, anyway, if you do a roll many times, you can get a roll here, so you'll be like in this kind of position, and you can roll again, and then you can just drop down like this. So that's a few ways to get down. It's really up to you what you feel comfortable with for safety as well as time. And also health, of course, because if you mess up some jump, even if you live, you can lose a lot of life. So again, it's up to you. Now, as I was saying about the flying mutants... Oh, okay, this is like almost what I was talking about. Yeah, so when you come down here, you may be able to lock on to a mutant like Lara just did, but kind of lost it. So there we go. So if it's like this and you're just starting out, I really recommend just killing them right now. It's about 30 bullets to kill him. But sometimes they just fly away, like let's say in that corner, and Lara can't lock on very well. In that case, I would say just ignore it and just keep moving on. But again, it's up to your choice how you feel about them. Once you finish the level, you'll kind of get an understanding of what they can do to you. But I do recommend killing them when you're first starting out. Okay. Now, we'll want to come to this corner. We're going to glitch up to the second lever. Oops. So, it's important to know that these two tiles here is a slope. So what we want to do is actually jump up here. And this tile in front of me is also a slope. So, actually, ideally, we jump onto that right slope, like this. But it's not always possible. So if you just land here, just jump on the slope, because we're going to do a position setup now. So once we come down from the slope, So first of all, we want to move forward and sidestep all the way left, so like this. And then now we do one back step and then another back to make sure we're all the way back. And then all we need to do is a running jump, and we'll teleport on top. So one more time. So let's say I try to jump on the slope. So that would be really nice because now I can just do forward, left, right? I spam left, so I'm like right on the left where I want to be, back, back again, and then just straight forward jump, and I'll teleport on top. And then during that stumble, we can turn, and after the stumble, we just do a standing jump onto the lever. And this will unleash the second flying mutant. And we want to, when we land on this lever, we want to be on the right because we want, oh actually, sorry, before that, okay, so if you're on Saturn, which is unlikely, but it's possible, it's actually missing a slope, so don't bother doing that. So if you're on Saturn after you do this lever, what you probably want to do is just come down here and like do a drop, something like this. Yeah, and then maybe come down here and then jump down. Actually, that seems pretty good. You can avoid that stumble too. But for anyone that's not on Saturn, we want to press this lever on the right so we can, oops, so we can immediately side flip right and do a roll, hold forward and left, and we can pick up this med. And I highly recommend picking up all the meds in this level that I will show because you'll most likely need them. If you're on the left, like if you, so let's say you glitch up here and then you standing jump on the left and try to side flip, you're not going to make it and you'll just die like this. So be careful about that. Make sure you're on the right, then pick up this med. And this is another position where a flying guy can mess with you, like near the lever and picking up this med. So again, it's just trying to do it fast, so he has less chance to push you off. And you know, if you have the chance and drop down there, kill him. Okay, and from here to get down quickly, you just do a roll, but be careful. So the safest way is just grabbing the edge and just dropping like that, and then again kind of grabbing like that. But what can happen if you don't? Something like this, that. And there's a few other ways to die as well. You could grab on the first one but not grab on the second one and die like this. And you can also do a fake grab early on the first one and die like this. Oh, whoops. This one's a little bit harder, I think, but it's still possible. Let me try and get it. Like this. So there are actually many ways to die here. Be careful. If you want to do it the safest, as I mentioned, just grab, but you could just do a late grab like this, and you should be fine. Right. And again, same with the first flying mutant. If you see the flying mutant here, I would recommend killing it. But if he just flies off and you can't get a lock on, like right now, like Lara can't really. Okay. If it's like this, I recommend killing him. It's not too long and it'll save you lots of trouble later on. But otherwise, just keep going. And again, here's another Magnum Clips you can pick up if you, for some reason, need it. And actually, if you kill both them, actually, yeah. So if you kill both of the flying mutants, you should pick up either this one or the one I showed earlier. But even if you miss these two, there's still more you could pick up later on. So I just want to stress that if at any point you're like, oh, I actually do need Magnum Clips, you can probably pick it up somewhere in the level. Okay, and for this one, so we just want to go in this door, this passageway, and there's a few ways to do this. The fastest way is when you're just coming here, you can do a running jump. And when you do a running jump, I recommend jumping around when you enter this tile. And so it'll be something like this. You tilt right just enough to land over here. But of course, common mistake, oops, is turning improperly and stumbling like that or something. You just fall in the water. Now there is a backup I will show, but before I get to that, I want to show some other methods of getting down besides, you know, the super slow obvious way is rolling here, grabbing, and then dropping like that. I mean, it's not even that slow, but it is slower than the alternatives. The other way is right as you land, you're gonna run forward and hit the slope, and right as you hit the slope, do forward, right, and jump. So it'll be like this, and again turn properly so you don't hit the corner. But this one you still also want to be on the right because of, I mean on the left, because if you're on the right, of course it's so much harder to get the proper angle and you can easily miss. So again, you can do the running jump, or you could do the slope jump, or you could even set it up like just walk to the edge here, kind of look like to the left of the corner a little bit, and then just do a standing jump, turn a little bit. You should be able to land here. If for whatever reason you fall in the water, no big deal, you just climb up here. You don't have to climb up all the way and do it again. You can just come on this side, and again, it's kind of like, you can do this in many different ways, but an easy way I recommend is getting one side step on the edge here, or like if you climb up on the right, one step forward, and then you want to aim at this corner and do a walk, run, jump off the edge and over here. It's a really nice backup, so you don't have to climb up and do the slope jump again, but it's up to you. And here's another Magnum Clips that we will actually plan to take, but not right now. We'll use it when we come down. Just want to climb up here. Over here, I recommend just moving forward to the wall and then pressing jump and climb. It's very slightly faster, I believe, but if you want to do just like a standing jump, it's not even a big deal. And if you mess up, so you can do it like this, because if you mess up moving forward and you stumble or whatever, it's obviously slower. But anyway, just climb up here, and then we're going to do a running jump to the left into the water like this, and make sure to grab, and we want to pick up the key. Now, just one word of caution for this part. Don't do some crazy jump like over here or something, because what can happen, well, you could land on the ground there if you really mess up the jump. Like, I don't know, not like that. If you really mess up the jump and you land on the ground, you take fall damage, so you actually really need to be careful. Something like that. Oh, okay, let me try it one more time. I'm sure I can get it. Okay, no, but when you're first starting out, this will maybe actually happen. Maybe you can land on the ground there and take some fall damage. Just be careful of that. But anyway, I want to pick up this key and hide it back up. Now, there is a really nice sequence, and it's pretty quick, because climbing up all the way to the top slope is kind of long if you just do it like, just keep climbing. So to do the sequence, we climb up near the left. Okay, and we want to okay, so first of all, I'm going to try and show it off so you have an idea of what it looks like. 1, 2, 2 standing jumps like this, and another standing jump, and then two running jumps onto the slope, and then jump onto the bridge. Okay, so there's a few specifics that you need to know when trying to do this. So, yeah, so first of all, climb up on the left, because for these blocks, if you just do standing jump straight, you're going to stumble like that. So you need to do it on an angle, something like this, and then you can use this wall to kill some distance. So you jump like this, and then on your last standing jump, you want to curve a little bit right to get the distance we need. And after this standing jump, we're going to curve left and do the 2 running jumps. So it's like this. Okay, so that the angle was too tight there. That's why I couldn't get it. Let's turn, standing jumps. Okay, again, too tight. You need to make sure your angle is right at the beginning, but then you need to like quickly turn left when doing the running jump. So it'll be like this. Oh my god. I can't do it now, of course. Okay, that was actually a lot closer, but as you can see, it's pretty tight. But if you can get it, it's so much faster than the alternatives. I will show alternatives later. Here it is, and you need to keep turning left, but not left enough. Not too left. As you can see, you hit that wall. But otherwise, it's something like this. And oh, okay, not like that. Let me try to do it without talking, maybe. Okay, like this, and then you can stumble on the right wall, but if you can extend your full jump, then that'll be even faster. And if you do it properly, as you can see, by the time I finish my jump, Lara will be almost at the end of the slope anyway. So it's like really quick, and then we just jump in. Alright, this won't make it. Okay, so there's still a few things I can talk about here. First of all, okay, so of course, if you mess up the sequence, just climb whatever, like, it's okay. But this part, there's an easy way. What you can do if you're on this one and you mess up, like let's say you stumble here, like I kept doing, you can just climb this one, aim at the corner a little bit, and do a walk, run, jump. Or wait, yeah, hold on. This angle is actually a little bit tight, but like this. Or you could, the easier way of that, instead of doing that crazy jump. Also, yeah, remember to do a double roll if you mess up like that, just so you don't have to keep thinking. You can just do 2 standing jumps, honestly. Come here. Now, when you're on the slope, some people have lots of trouble with this jump onto the bridge. So what I suggest is using Lara's feet. So you want to jump when Lara's foot, forward foot is off the bridge. Like, you can see how, so right now, so the compass is kind of covering it, but as you can see, her front foot is off the slope, but she's still on the slope, of course. So it's at this time that I want to jump. And also for the bridge, there's still more to know. If you could, if you like, you really care about optimal times, try to jump on towards the right, because if, well, here, let me show, well, look like normally. You'll get this huge swing animation, right? Lara kind of like stumbles when she grabs the bridge, but if you grab on the right where there's more wall in front of her, she won't stumble at all, or she'll stumble very little. Yeah, again, let me just show that. So here's this huge swing, so you have to wait like a full second or something. And we want to be on the right anyway, because we're going to go to that keyhole. So yeah, that was a lot to take in. Let me just do that one more time. So you grab the key underwater, right? Like from over there, you climb up here. Then get these jumps, turn left. I knew that wasn't gonna work, but let's pretend I got it. Let me try to imitate it. It'll look something like this. You get the full jump. Again, if you stumble on the wall, that's fine, because you still land on the slope and you can continue, but it's just the jump is faster. Wait for her feet like this. This is good. Jump, aim to the right a little bit. Like, don't do too much like I just did, because that won't, I'll miss and then I'll have to do it again. So if you stumble like this, that's fine. Just go like that. Jump now. Grab. So I didn't grab grab from the right because my distance wasn't really good. You just have to slowly get experience with how much you can jump to the right and try to like save a little bit of time. But if you really want to just play safe, just jump forward because that way you don't lose any distance when you jump. Okay, so after that, you just put in the key. And again, there's some different ways to do this next part, but no matter what, all we're going to do is ignore the centaur, pick up the key, and get out of there as soon as possible. So here's one sequence. You just back up, just do 2 jumps, wait until... Okay, so first of all, let me talk about the centaur. The centaur can be basically anywhere, and he could be shooting you or trying to block you physically, or like really doing whatever he wants. So you do sometimes need to improvise a little bit, but usually you have some straight path to the key. So a good way to land on a key as fast as possible is jump near this edge where I am right now, but like before you step up, because of course once you step up you reset your jump sequence. And you want to grab the key and get out as fast as possible to reduce the damage that you can take from the centaur, because centaurs have a bunch of life, so that's why we avoid killing them and we just run past. But e-balls take a lot of damage. Okay, so you can do this. And remember, jump right before the thing, so it's like this. You need to curve a little bit, but again, that's just really kind of experience and knowing where she'll land and how close you can be to the key. But no matter what, you might not take any damage in this room, or you might take a bunch. It's really just kind of RNG and your skill. So remember what I said earlier about the meds? If I'm low like this, just use the small first. And if you need to, you might need to use a large as well when leaving or picking up the key or whatever. But anyway, once you pick up the key, yeah, just quickly turn around and, you know, just get out of here. But don't roll, because you'll just fall off the platform and you'll get kind of stuck. So just try to turn like this. And again, here, like, I could save a little bit of life and use a large later, or I could use it now. Again, it's just up to you how comfortable you feel. And when leaving here, we want to jump to the right. And actually there's a couple ways to do this, but this is the easiest one because you just running jump and then grab. And you'll land like somewhere here. Just do 2 rolls. This position. Well, actually, normally not really. Normally it'll be like this maybe. Yeah, something like this. And then you can, you know, just get out of here and turn right. But you can also just stop, do a standing jump plus a grab, and just land right in this corner here. And then you can just, you don't have to do the double roll. So it's just what you feel comfortable with. You can miss it this way, but again, it's up to you. And if you do, just climb back up. So from here, we can do the beginning of that previous the hard sequence that I was showing, just to climb up really quick. But when dropping, there's basically 2 possibilities. One is just running straight off. So it's like, so let's say you do the turn, you just run straight off, press roll, and you just grab this. That's the Magnum Clips we can get. But what can happen is you like do something like this, or not like that, sorry. You might accidentally slow down near the edge like this, and then you can land. Okay, I'm not really showing it very well, but let me try it one more time. No, okay. What can happen is you land something in like this position, and if that happens, no problem, you can just do roll with a late grab like this, and then you can land on the Magnum Clips as well. So it's still okay, but right now I just can't seem to feel it. It's not even like that. I don't even know what I'm doing. Not okay. I can't get it right now, but anyway, just run off, pick it up. Doesn't matter which way you're facing. Come over here and do a running jump to this part. Again, if you just fall in the water, just climb up. But this jump is nice. And then climb up. This one you can do a standing jump forward. That's no big deal, because the height is good enough. And once you climb up, side flip left, standing jump, cancel, and just running jump. From here, there is a pretty good sequence all the way, but as usual, if you find yourself stumbling at any point, just continue. It's not a big deal. You jump over here and then wait until you climb up on this rock, and then do another standing jump since it'll reset you. If you do running jumps continuously, you'll just stumble like this, or you'll go too far. That could happen too. But anyway, yeah, so running jump, step up, running jump here, standing jump, and another running jump, and we're going to do a cancel on a specific slope, a roll cancel. It's right here, like this, and then we can roll. So let me try that one more time. Oops. Step up, running jump, standing jump, running jump, roll cancel, continue. Again, if you miss it, just keep moving. Come left over here, running jumps. Just be careful of a few tiles here that are slopes, specifically this one. You'll fall down. So of course, when you're doing running jumps, if you find your sequence like you're going to land on it, like you're jumping like this, just turn left. So because this one isn't a slope. And also this one on this left here, and I guess by extension this one. But for the most part, okay, so what you want to do is just kind of come over here, running jump to the right, and another running jump like to the right-ish, and come between this one that you can actually move on and this slope. So we're gonna do another glitch up, and this is a part where, okay, so since you're back in this room, I forgot to mention it in the first like water room going to the centaur, but if you don't kill the flying mutants, they can come to you there or here or like up, like where we glitch up. So again, it's just like you need to go fast and have kind of decent or good RNG to not get messed up by them. So I do recommend, again, just killing them if you haven't already. But anyway, so you're gonna come here and then left side step all the way, just like this, and just one walk back and one left side step. So now we align ourselves pretty well. Now we need to get the angle, and the lineup I like to use is Laura's left hand. It should just not be touching the slope. So like right now, the line between the slope and the wall, Laura's left hand is just above that. So like right now it's touching the line. Right now it's like to the left and below the line, but like this is good. So from here we just do a jump into the wall and we'll come up here. And 1 second. You can cancel that and come right here, and like best sequence is coming here and then just do a standing jump here and continuing. But really quickly, I want to mention something else. If you mess up this glitch, like your angle and or position is wrong, sometimes what can happen is you come over here, like you'll be right here, either in the corner or on this, like literally where I am right now, like here. In this case, the easiest suggestion I would say is I would give is just jump here and then climb up. Yeah, that's like the most straightforward, and I would recommend, if you can't, if like just something wrong goes down and you didn't come up here, just climb up. And if you're around this position, or like maybe sometimes a little bit lower like this, you can still jump up. Okay, not like that. And this is kind of tight. Like, yeah, something like this. You can still jump here in this corner and continue. Just, you might have saw it earlier, but if you're climbing up, you can't be on the right like this because of like the ceiling's too low. So if you are just climbing up, like, if you don't want to jump up, then just make sure you're on the left, because that's the only place you have space. And then you're going to do a corner bug just up here, over here, and this one I highly recommend using the camera. It's like really simple. So so you're running here, and you set up your position like this, right? Just like a regular corner bug. Her right foot is slightly to the right. You're gonna look 45 degrees, but in this case, we can wait until the camera changes. So it's like this. Actually, this position is not even that good. It might not work. So let me make sure. This is fine. Again, camera change is like just to make sure, like this. Now, it takes a few more jumps than normal, so gonna just hold jump like this, and you should appear on top. Now be careful. From here, all you want to do is just move forward, and then you can continue jumping. But like it. So one common mistake, so there's a few ways this can go wrong, but I'm going to just show like the most common one. If your position isn't right, so you can see her like this, and it kind of looks like she will go through, but no, you'll just end up on the other side like this. So you're going to have to reset it up. For this one, again, I just recommend, coming to this side here, so your position is pretty easy to set up, because so once you're here, you kind of just move forward a little bit right, and then your right foot will be in good position. And then for the angle, the camera helps you as well. So it's just utilizing the game just to help you, so you don't have to accidentally have too big or too low of an angle and you have to redo like 5 jumps. So this is fine, and just move forward and run and jump. And again, another room is like the same with the first centaur and the key. We want to get the key as fast as possible and get out. Don't touch the centaur. Try to take as little damage as possible. Just do running jumps, and again, if you come over here, it's just like this. If you mess up, just try to find your way, but when you're first starting out, I definitely recommend just having a save and trying to get this kind of sequence or some other jump onto the key, because like, okay, so let's say I missed the key and I don't have a good sequence. It's so difficult to quickly get the key. Like, I have to heal. Okay, the centaur is constantly shooting me. Back up, jump, maybe. Okay, missed that. Okay, turn around. Like, it's so rough trying to improvise this sometimes, especially since the centaur can sometimes push you depending on your position and its position. So I just recommend just jumping like this. Boom, get the key. Like, at least that's dealt with. You just turn around. This is good RNG. As you can see, like, the centaur didn't even shoot me once yet. So shot me twice, that's fine, I can heal. And then I just get the hell out of here, so. And then, yeah, standing jump. From here, if you don't do the standing jump, you will stumble, but I should have probably saved, but okay, let me actually just do that again. So this was like obviously the best because I barely got hit. Okay, so from here, I like to do this jump, this running jump near the edge. So like I'm on the middle of this tile right here. And then you can do one standing jump and just continue. Just be careful of doing the standing jump to like close like this. You're gonna just hit the wall. And if you just drop, or so obviously if you just drop, you're gonna stumble. Or if you do a running jump, you'll also stumble, which I think many new players don't realize. But do this, even if you don't hit the wall, you're going to stumble. So it's just one stumble, but it's nice to get just one standing jump. Okay, that was close, but from here, okay, I'm sorry, but I have to mention it one last time. If you haven't killed the flying mutants, there's such a high chance, especially if your movement wasn't clean enough, that they just wreck you, especially in this part of the level. Whether you're climbing up or you're coming down and trying to exit, they are such a nightmare here. So if you don't kill them, just prepare for that. Like, just know what to expect. That's just all I'm saying. Okay. So to exit here, you can just take the slope. You can just drop down here. What you need to know is that this last tile. So this one's a slope, but the one I'm standing on right now is not one. So if you don't want to stumble, like when you drop down a small stumble like that, just jump when you're near the edge, like this. But don't jump too early or you'll get a stumble from the height. So like this. Like that, right? And here's another large we want to pick up. So you can do it like this, like that. Another way down, you can also do a running jump if you're feeling comfortable with it. You just turn, running jump here. Oh, okay, oops. Okay, so my sequence isn't the best, but I'm just like this. Okay, well, if you do that properly, you don't stumble because you hit the ceiling in a perfect way. Maybe I need to be on the right more. Yeah, like that. And you basically don't take any fall damage, as you can see. I like that's so minimal, it doesn't matter. So that one's a really nice one, but doesn't really matter. It's up to you. Just come over here and pick up the med. Okay, and this part is another nightmare if your movement isn't clean and you don't kill this guy. So first of all, this guy's annoying, sorry. So this guy, okay, so what we want to do first is come over here and climb this. But this guy, like on this lower part, is such a nightmare. But I don't recommend killing him. I just recommend like making a save if you're not comfortable with it and just moving on. You might need to use some more meds here. So meds in this level is like really variable because it's both RNG and your skill a lot. But most of your meds probably will be used here in this level that you stored from the previous levels. That's why we were collecting them basically. But okay, first let me kill this guy. So normally, don't kill that guy, but I just want to show a few things. So when you're here, if you saw it the first time, try to jump, get like a really good jump onto here, and then do a grab cancel. But that's pretty difficult. And you can still, like, as you land about here, as you're landing, he can still push you sometimes. So, just some things to know about this block. Okay, so in this corner, as you can see, I can run up without like any jumps or anything. That's really important to know, because what might happen is you can miss this jump, let's just say, and like climbing back up to this block and setting up a position to do a running jump again can be kind of tough with that Atlantean that I just killed. Like really either shooting you or physically pushing you and attacking you. So if you're having trouble, you know, for some reason jumping up here, always know that this corner is like you can just run through. It's really smooth. But of course, the other corners you can't. You do have to climb. Another thing is when you do a running jump up to that ledge, be careful of this left part, because as you can see, where we're going to grab, it's higher, and it's like sometimes you can still grab it depending on where you jump from, but it's a lot harder, as you can see. I just missed it there. So when you come over here, I recommend setting up your position around this part, like this corner of the block, because this way, if you do a forward running jump, you're guaranteed to land on this part, because it's lower and like your distance is good. Again, assuming you kill the flying guys, because that's just another whole thing. And one final thing is that when you're kind of doing this, if you're doing this running jump too quickly, and like let's say you miss it here, oops, not like that. Okay, so let's say you do this running jump, somehow missed it. Be careful of this kind of front part, because it can be really weird. You might be, like, let's say you're holding forward and you're trying to roll. It's not gonna work. There's just not enough space. So you either need to turn or let go of forward. And well, actually, it depends on a few things. But I just rolled before, but. Yeah, anyway, as you can see, this part is like really messy. So from this position, just know that like it's a real nightmare to recover from sometimes if the grounded Lantean is physically on you. So really try to make sure this running jump here is going to work. So let me show the full thing again. Once you pick up this large med, right, so like from here, approximately this position, try to do this jump and grab cancel here. And then if you can get this jump, what I recommend is just doing one forward like this, turn, and then now you can just do the running jump easy peasy and climb up. But if you mess it up, like let's just say you know, you didn't jump, whatever, okay, you stumble, you probably get hit a few times. Try to somehow find your way on this block, just either running jump or whatever, and then either like here you kind of improvise. So here, if I do a forward right in the corner, I'll make it. But like let's say I landed right here, it's a lot harder, but maybe I can backstep like in a curve. Okay, so here I fell, but here, like, really being able to improvise and knowing how much you moves forward, left, and stuff really helps, because it can be a nightmare trying to solve it yourself. But yeah, once you know, like maybe you walk up to the edge, that's fine too, then backstep for a jump. Okay, so probably spent way too much time there, but just really important to know that part is really bad if you mess it up. Okay, here you can climb up one more time, but you can also do this trick, just sidestep to the right here, and do 1, 2, 3, and forward, and then standing jump with the roll cancel, and then you can climb up. But it's so minimal, I'm not gonna repeat that. So here we're gonna do this keyhole and the keyhole behind it. Nice sequence. Oh, okay, this sequence is pretty involved for pretty minimal time save, because there's a lot of guns flicking on and off. But so here's what I'm gonna do. So we're gonna side flipping guns so we can see, and then immediately we're going to put away our guns while also doing a forward right jump like this. And we want to put away our guns so we can grab, and then we get that small stumble, and then we can turn to the keyhole. So it should look like this. Oops, okay, I just messed it up. Like this. Okay, so I did extra guns there to turn even faster, but like that part is okay, not necessary. So remember, don't put away your guns too early though, or else you won't be able to open the door. So do it once you see it, grab, then turn to the keyhole. But otherwise, I guess talk about the geometry really quickly. This part is totally safe, like these 3 full tiles, but this phase is actually like you can't stand on it, you just fall through and die. So that's why if you're making up a sequence or something like this, just if you do a movement forward, that's fine, but just don't move any more forward, right? You just want to drop down here and then turn to the key, like drop down to this tile, probably facing forward, and then you just turn to the keyhole and go for it. This part, for the most part, you shouldn't fall down, but when you're rushing and maybe an Atlantean's on you, you might panic, and it's very easy to make a mistake and fall and die. And again, from this position, whatever happens, you could climb up here, but you can also, so some things to know is from the keyhole, if you're not pushed, you can just take 1 full back step, you won't fall off, and then from here you can standing jump into the next part. You can also, oops, oh yeah, you could do that, you could do it like this and then turn. And you could also kind of come over here and then do a standing jump. So what we want to do when we come up here is like turn this way and drop down in this position to quickly get down. Just be careful of doing a roll, because if you're too close to the slope, what could happen? Oh, not like that. That was actually like perfect, but the problem is that a lethal mistake is right next to the perfect one. So if you're right next to the slope, like okay, or like this, like let's say this can happen, you're gonna just fall and die. There's, yeah, just nothing you can do if you already made that mistake. So of course, if you're too close to the slope and try to roll, you're not going to be able to complete that roll. So again, let me just show that real quick. Okay, or just that can happen too. Well, you get my point. Just be careful of rolling. If you want to play super safe, just turn back and then do back steps, because there's no way you can mess this up. And just grab, and when you come down, you can hold forward and left and then do a roll and then continue. Yeah, so that's basically it. If you want to play safe, just turn, but if you get it really good, you can roll onto the slope like that. Here, if you do a running jump with a late grab, you can come down this pit. Okay, well, actually not like that at all, but hopefully you see the point. Often what a mistake is hitting that, or what can happen is also land on this slope. But in any case, we're gonna just want to come down here. You try to face this Sphinx if possible, but you're gonna just swim all the way down and pull the lever. But before that, recommend saving, because we're going to do a save trick. So first I will save before pulling the lever. Okay, so when we pull this lever, what will normally happen is the lever will push us all the way top. And now, actually, yeah, let me show the trick first. So what we want to do is right as we pull the lever and we see Laura move, like almost immediately, but it's pretty generous, we want to save. So remember, a quick way to save is F5. So like save, like now, for example, this is fine. And what happens is if we load that save, the current is gone. And that's good because we just swim out and the map has changed. Just swim up here and continue. But before I get to that, yeah, I'm gonna just quickly show what happens if you mess this up. Because if you mess it up and you don't have a save, like let's say in a run, let's say you save too late, okay, then you'll be here and then the current will still push you no matter what. Like, actually, let me just show that. So let's say here, say like oops, right? Then you save like this, and you load this save. There's no way it will work. It's just way too late. So what you just want to do, if you mess it up, just swim all the way up here. It's really quick, so don't worry if you got the trick and you're just waiting for it. Just running jump, corner bug here, and the rest is glitchless if you know that. Basically, you're gonna just come up here and jump. Be careful of falling here, but just running over here, roll, grab, come to this lower platform to do another running jump, turn, and drop down like this. And basically, where we are, where we want to be, which is pulling this lever. Okay. So, assuming you get the trick, though, you'll be like this. So then you can come over here and swim up, and this will be in the same position. You can go to the lever. One thing, when you're swimming up here, be careful of trying to climb this, like climb out of the water too quickly. Because what can happen, I'll try, but I'm not that good at, yeah. It's like actually kind of hard to do it manually, but what can happen is you can accidentally glitch, and oh, there we go, okay. And you can come back down here, so of course, then you have to swim back up, which is a minor time loss. Just be a little bit slower on this climb, that's all. Okay, now we pull this lever to open the next door, and we just turn, running jump, running swan dive. It's just kind of nice. Swim through here. At this point, we need to check our Magnum ammo. Depending on, you know, let's say you wasted some Magnum bullets or you're good or whatever, but right now I have 70, so that's pretty good. That should be easily enough. So when we reach the top of the, actually, let me talk about the stairs first, I guess. Actually no, okay, so at the top there will be 1 centaur, 2 mutants. We want to kill the 2 mutants. They take approximately, I'll say, given, you know, average aim and stuff, 65 bullets. Okay, so like, I know it's not exact, but I would say if you have 65 or more, you're fine. If you have less, you can pick up some Magnum Clips here. Okay, so anyway, this is a huge spiral staircase. We need to climb up. Normally we just go through it, but if you're missing ammo, there's 2 Magnum Clips. I'll just show it here. Okay, so first of all, actually, to climb up really quickly, we want to spam or do as many running jumps as possible, but it can be kind of tricky. So there's like a kind of cheap way, I guess, to do it. And a really easy way is always kill your distance while keeping on the left. So this way you can basically guarantee you're always running jumping, but you're not stumbling too much. Okay, I just kind of messed up there, but besides that, I'm basically always running jumping, right? And it's pretty quick. If you want to go like max optimal, though really easy to mess up at any point, what you want to do is always aim straight on towards the corner. So it'll be something like this. Because you're yeah, I'm not doing the best job. Hopefully you get the idea. Basically, you know, it's up to you how comfortable you are with the jumps here, but you really don't want to stumble because the staircase is so long that, you know, if the more you stumble, it's just like, it's really going to add up. So what I recommend is just running jump whenever you're comfortable to. And, you know, when you're feeling a little bit dangerous, add in an extra one or something. And if you really want to add jumps, but be a little bit more safe, you can stick to the left, as I mentioned, because you have more... first of all, the camera's more cooperative a little bit, and you have more space to adjust. Whereas if you always go for the most direct path, kind of, it's like really easy to just barely make it or not barely make a mistake like this, and then it's just like you have to recover. Okay. So besides that, you're gonna just do that all the way to the top. If you're missing ammo, there's one on the 4th corner and the 7th. So like, okay, I think I miscounted there, or it's the 5th corner. So I forget, but basically there's one on the corner first here, and there's another one in the middle of the path right here. No, not here. Wait, what? Did I just pass it? No, right here. Sorry, I can't count. But yeah, if you're missing ammo, just pick up one of these. Just I recommend whichever one you're close to when you running jump. Like you land a running jump, if you're close to one, pick it up if you're missing ammo. Otherwise, yeah, just come all the way to the top. And here, quite a bit to talk about too. So first of all, if you're on Saturn, actually when you touch this tile, this dark tile, the gates will already open. So make sure you can pick this up quick because we're gonna fight enemies. But if you're not on Saturn, the gate will open only when you're picking up the item, after you picked up the item. And there's really 2 strategies here, but one's kind of inconsistent and we don't have perfect knowledge on how it works yet. But I will talk about it. First, the consistent way though, and the one I recommend. Okay, so what we're gonna do is pick it up, and remember, make sure you have enough Magnum ammo. And again, this is still RNG, but for the most part, the strategy is we're going to step out really quickly, make sure our lock-on is on a regular mutant and not the centaur, and kill him as fast as possible. Like this. So again, lots to talk about. If ever you switch to a centaur, try your best to switch off him, because killing him takes actually forever and tons of ammo, so you really don't want to do that. Another thing is there's lots of possibilities on what the mutants can do. So for example, this one is running up the stairs. So for now I can ignore him, and usually he doesn't come back, but he still can. So it's just, if you play enough and have enough experience, you'll know what to expect. But if he just runs up, I recommend just switching to the next mutant and killing him. And of course, once the centaur shoots you, just try to dodge his meatballs. Okay, if both mutants run up and you want to take a chance, what you can do is just run to the end of the keyhole. To the keyhole at the end. But then here, and I don't recommend doing the keyhole if you see any mutants on you, like actually chasing you or like physically close to you. If they're up the stairs, it's up to you, although I would still try to kill them if you could. But if they're actually like beside you, like right now, don't do the keyhole. You'll lose way too much life. I wouldn't recommend that. So here I killed one mutant, one ran up. Let's say I want to risk it. I'm gonna just run to the keyhole. Centaur will still keep shooting, but just heal if you need to. Right now it's fine. Again, there's just so many possibilities. I'm gonna try and go over some. Let's see. Okay, I guess, yeah, so one thing is, actually I can't get it right now, but if the mutants are constantly circling you, try to get to an edge of the room. Like, not to get stuck, but just to make sure you can actually get the facing. So let me try it here. So like here, it can be really rough because you're trying to lock onto a mutant, but if you lose it, like he dies and you're turning or whatever, then you can easily lock to the centaur. But if you go to like an edge of the room, you have a better view of the whole room, and you can get like, you know what you're locking on, you know what you're doing, and so forth. In other words, I recommend don't just run into the middle of the room randomly. Oh, I guess I should mention, but I assume you know this from the tutorial before, is if you need to change targets, remember to keep pressing action or like shoot, because if you just hold on to it, you're stuck on that target until they die. If they're a mutant. If it's not a mutant, then you'll actually be stuck on that target forever. Okay, and another thing, if you're low on meds, you can get this med at the end, but I would recommend it only if like the mutants aren't on you, like you kill them. Let's say you come here. And if you're on keyhole, normally I would recommend turning and just going in, but if the meatballs are shooting you, and like dodging 1 or 2 might save you a med, then you could do a back step like so, because that often dodges some meatballs. Not this one, because normally you can tank like a few more centaur shots and then grab this med, so then you're up a med. But if the regular mutants are still on you, obviously don't do that, it could still hurt you. And you continue. Let's see, okay, I'll make a save here, but just want to go back for the alternative that I mentioned. Oh shoot, this is not a good save for it. Okay, so alternative is when you pick up, basically what we're going to do is just run through the room, hope for good luck, and yeah, that's basically it. And one way that seemingly increases the chances of making it so the mutants ignore us is taking 2 back steps after we pick it up towards the left. So like, see how the dark brown tiles cut in half kind of by the item? So we want to take back step like this, like towards the left, not on the right like this. So let's see if I can get it. Can pick it up, 2 back steps, and we're going to want to run around kind of the edges of the room a little bit. Come over here, the door, here into the keyhole. And you just go in. And at like the last few seconds, the mutants can come back and chase you, but you know, it's obviously quicker if you can get it. But again, there's right now I would say we don't have perfect knowledge on this. I believe that aspect ratio, like aspect ratio or resolution could have a factor, but no solid kind of proof. So I just want to show this just in case you want to try it, or you're wondering why some runners might do it. But if you're doing the shooting strategy, it's not that much slower if you're really on top of it, and obviously it's way more consistent. So it's up to you. I want to show it filling at least once. Well, okay, these were really sharp cuts, but as you can see, like let's say I did it properly and it failed like this. It's so hard to recover if you don't have a save, because if you go for the keyhole, you're like going to burn either all your meds, or you're going to die because you don't have enough meds, or you're too slow to use one. Or trying to fight the mutants from this position is slower and harder because you don't have good lock-on camera. So you don't have to do like, oh, they keep going around you, so it's really difficult to fight from this kind of position, which again is why I recommend not fighting, like not running into the middle of the room and fighting there. try to fight near some kind of edge so you have a better camera. But yeah, that's basically the alternative. Less consistent, but it is an option. Okay, and once you come down here, doesn't matter what strategy you choose, you're gonna want to climb this. For this final part, no matter what, we're gonna run past Pierre, or Larson, sorry. And there's a few ways you can do this. You can do a running jump and grab cancel, then standing jump, then running jump to the Scion. And if you do this, he shouldn't be able to shoot you. Like, you should dodge him. Maybe he shoots you once, but unless you're actually like 1 life away from dying, it shouldn't be a problem. Another way is using this ceiling. So you move 1 step and then using this ceiling to not get a stumble. So like standing jump, then running jump all the way. And I don't really recommend this, but I guess this is just for information. If you kind of cut this corner properly, you won't trigger him, as you can see. He's just like, there's no chance. So obviously you can just freely go and guarantee you don't get hit. It doesn't really matter what strategy you choose. I personally do the running jump because I'm so used to it, and if you do it properly, you can't get hit. But maybe you're like, you actually are 1 hit away from dying, you might want to go a safer route or whichever way you feel safest. Really, the safest one is the one you feel you can do the best. So yeah, you just run up these stairs, grab it, and that's Sanctuary of the Scion. Really long level, hard level overall, just because of a combination of tricks, movement, and even RNG, and lots of different strategies you can choose. But I really hope this video helped out, and I'll see you next time in Atlas Mines.